TLO from really getting a stranglehold on this map. Although with that expansion going down, MaDFroG is really going to need to take his expansion again, and here goes his hatchery. He is getting another hatchery up and running right now, although looks like MaDFroG possibly trying to do a counter push. No, he may have just been checking to see if TLO already had this expansion right now, and as you can see by the wireframe that is there right now, that there is a command center en route to take that expansion. So it looks like both players actually going to be pretty even after that initial exchange of units, and right now the harvester count pretty daggone even as well, 32 to 31, and actually with the help of the mules, if TLO opts to use mules instead of scan energy, then he can actually take a lead on the income for the minerals. And right now, actually looking at the income, it looks like the minerals are very far behind for MaDFroG right now, and I'm not sure exactly why that is, although no, it just spiked back up, so I'm not sure exactly what he was doing there, but apparently his income dropped pretty significantly there for a minute, and an Evo chamber going down right now. MaDFroG apparently losing a creep colony, it looks like, or a creep tumor rather, and there's no creep under this roach horn, but it does not appear to be losing any health. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Perhaps a glitch in this replay file or something. But 2 Evo chambers going down and an infestation pit. So it looks like we're going to see MaDFroG continue to tech here and actually trying to get up another expansion up at the high yield. So once again, trying to take that economic lead. And there's one Hellion getting into position here to do some harassment, managing to take down one drone already. And here come the roaches and the queens. And you can just see how much more effective those roaches can be with dealing with that harassment threat when they have that speed upgrade. And it looks like they do have the tunneling ability, and burrow has been researched as well. So MaDFroG possibly going to try to use some burrowed roaches to get himself in position for some kind of a surprise attack. However, looking at TLO's base right now, he does have a turret on the back of his mineral line as well as a turret at the front. So those roaches are not going to really be able to get in close enough to do any significant damage without being spotted. And here they come. They're going to be in range. Yeah, the Marauders are seeing them right now. And looks like they're going to pop up and take off one Marauder immediately, and then trying to pick off that Thor. But that Thor able to get some help from his siege tanks on the high ground, and then another Thor coming into play as well. So MaDFroG deciding that he does not want to try to take a poke at TLO's base right now. And meanwhile, he is trying to get some more drones up and running at his expansion here. We can see that TLO is taking the lead in the economic income right now once again. And MaDFroG going to move in here, try to pick off these refineries here, managing to take down one of them, and possibly he might even be able to take out some of these units, although a siege tank moving down to the low ground here to help out with defending this base. So those siege tanks, Marauders, and Thors are going to be able to defend that expansion for TLO very handily. And right now, I don't know exactly what MaDFroG is planning on doing to break down on that entrance. He seems to be very committed to this mass roach build. On the unit count, we can see that there's only one Zergling and then 18 roaches out for MaDFroG right now. And MaDFroG once again going to move in here and try to take out this this refinery, but just not going to happen here as TLO is scanning, and he's got tanks and he's got turrets and detection. He is able to see everything, and here comes a Raven even on the map. So he now has mobile detection in order to deal with this burrowed roach threat. So that is definitely not going to be a super viable option as far as getting himself a hidden attack, surprise attack somewhere, at least as far as walking in the front base. Perhaps he can sneak a Nidus in the back here. As you can see, looking at TLO's vision, he does have a little bit of a dark area here where he cannot see exactly what's going on. And MaDFroG moving out across the map here. He's got some Zerglings here scouting out some of the bases. Oh, and here comes the push from TLO. A ton of units here. Actually, not a whole lot of units as far as quantity, but some very scary units. There are 4 siege tanks, a handful of Marauders, a Raven, a couple Hellions, and some Thors. So a very diverse unit mix from TLO right now, going to try to take on MaDFroG. And apparently MaDFroG using this little window of time here to move in and try to do some damage here, taking out that siege tank, and then the roaches and Zerglings are going to force TLO to abandon this expansion. Meanwhile, it looks like TLO has taken down the expansion for MaDFroG, although he does not know of this high yield expansion. But there's nothing to defend this base right now for MaDFroG, so this base is going to go down very quickly, which means MaDFroG is going to lose all of his tech, which even if he's able to take out a majority of the buildings at TLO's main base right now, he does not have any air, so he will not be able to take out any of these flying buildings right now. He really needs to get some Hydralisks up and running in order to take that out, or he just needs to mass up enough units that he can take down this Terran army. And it looks like all of these units are moving in just uncontested still, going to be able to do a ton of damage. And here comes some roaches trying to get in a few hits here, but that is not going to be nearly enough. and TLO trying to get a base up and running at the corner base here, putting down his orbital command, and he has not pulled down any mules or anything yet. But MaDFroG continuing. We are just in a heck of a base race situation, although as I mentioned, with no anti-air capabilities for MaDFroG, he really needs to get either some Hydralisks out on the map, or he needs to find a way to deal with this Terran army so he can force TLO out of this game. But I don't think this is going to be nearly enough units to deal with the amount of mech that TLO has right now. And TLO moving out across the map, trying to find out exactly where MaDFroG is holed up right now. And he is going to find this expansion relatively quickly. And here comes MaDFroG from the behind path here, going to try to pull a little bit of flank. He does have some units on the front lines as well, so trying to get himself in a position to really take out this Terran army, and he's going to need to do that here very quickly, or he's going to find himself in a lot of trouble. And these roaches, for some reason, engaging by themselves, and here comes the rest of the Zerg army going to take on these tanks first, using the roaches and the Zerglings to sneak up behind that army, although there are still 2 tanks in the front lines, and I don't think this is going to be enough. Yeah, losing all of those roaches and Zerglings in the back, and then there are some infestors here. This is a very tense situation. Finally managing to get up a spawning pool and frantically trying to crank out some Zerglings, although if we look at the resources tab right now, we can see that there is no more resources for MaDFroG. He has a ton of gas, but absolutely no minerals. So if he cannot manage to hold this off and do something significant with these roaches and this handful of Zerglings that he's trying to morph in right now, he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. And here comes the Zerglings and the infestors. These are the last handful of buildings aside from the extractors and the infestor pit that he does have up and running right now, and trying to get a spawn larva, or I'm sorry, a parasite on there, it looks like. And he no longer has a hatchery on the map right now. So I think that this is going to go to TLO, because TLO, of course, does still have his orbital commands, and as I mentioned, there is no anti-air for MaDFroG, I guess with the exception of these infestors possibly being able to spawn infested Terrans, but that is not going to be enough. He does not have anything to back these infestors up right now. So at this point, yeah, I gotta say, I think this game is going to TLO. He is continuing to train units, and he does now have a mining base up and running again, and another orbital command over on the left side of the map here. So TLO, yeah, MaDFroG is going to GG. So it looks like TLO managing to take this series, the show match here, 5-3. Great games from both players. I'm very excited to see how well both of them do as the professional scene for StarCraft 2 begins to develop more and more. And really showing, MaDFroG showing the ability of the Zerg players to keep up with Terran. I know that a lot of Zerg players have been struggling with Terran mech, myself included, and MaDFroG showing that even against a great player like TLO, it is possible if you have the right movements, the right map control, and the right unit counters. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll definitely try to bring you as many more high-level pro game replays as possible. But as always, if you have any replays that you would like to send to me to cast, or possibly even some suggestions of videos to cast, or just whatever you would like to see videos of that are StarCraft 2 related, please send me a PM on YouTube. I would be happy to look at any ideas or replay files. And once again, I just wanted to mention the 2v2 tournament that is starting this coming Friday. We are going to be kicking that off Friday night. I believe we're going to start that at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys have not signed up for that yet, go to the sc2armory.com, sign up for an account if you don't have one. It's free, and then get yourself signed up for that 2v2 tournament with your partner, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. GG.